You have $10,000 in your bank account, yet you feel like you are perpetually one paycheck away from being broke. You stare at your credit card statement, seeing a balance that never seems to drop despite your best efforts to make payments on time. You believe you are playing the game correctly, yet the banks continue to extract profit from your ignorance. What if I told you that credit cards for beginners are designed to be a labyrinth of hidden fees specifically engineered to capture your capital? By the end of this, you will know exactly how to weaponize credit for your own growth while neutralizing the hidden traps banks set for you, all without paying a single cent in unnecessary interest. But here is the part nobody tells you. The popular narrative around credit cards for beginners is that they are dangerous tools of debt, or conversely, that they are a harmless convenience for the responsible consumer. Both narratives are lies designed to keep you subservient to the system. You have been told to pay off your balance and you will be fine. You have been told that credit scores are the ultimate measurement of your worth. These are half-truths used to keep you comfortable while you bleed money through interest and annual fees. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. He said that a prudent ruler must protect himself from the schemes of those who appear to be helping him. Banks are not your partners. They are institutions that profit from your financial friction. Income is not power. Control is. I remember my first experience with credit cards for beginners. I was younger, eager to build my score, and entirely blind to the fine print of my agreements. I treated my credit limit as an extension of my income, a mistake that cost me thousands in interest over 2 years. I looked at my monthly statement one morning and realized the bank had successfully commoditized my lack of discipline. It was the moment I stopped viewing the bank as a utility and started seeing it as an adversary. Machiavelli started making sense to me, not as philosophy, but as survival. And if this makes you uncomfortable, that is a good sign. Consider the history of the House of Rothschild. They did not build their fortune by falling for the traps of the financial systems of their day. They built it by understanding the leverage inherent in debt and controlling the terms of the transaction. They did not just use credit, they mastered the mechanics of money flow. When the government needed funds, the Rothschilds provided the credit, but they dictated the terms, the interest, and the collateral. They did not suffer under the weight of fees, they collected them. That is not luck, that is strategy. 1. The interest trap. Think of your credit card interest rate as a silent virus. It does not kill your finances in one day, it infects your capital slowly, compounding until your wealth is drained. The mechanism is simple. If you carry a balance, the bank applies an annual percentage rate to your average daily balance. The result is a drain on your purchasing power that makes it impossible to build wealth. The reality is simple. Never carry a balance. If you cannot pay the full amount due, do not spend the money. That's it. 2. The annual fee fallacy. Many people believe that a higher annual fee correlates with a more prestigious, useful card. This is a mirage. Banks use these fees to justify access to features you likely do not need. Your goal is not prestige, it is efficiency. If the rewards generated by the card do not exceed the annual fee by at least 3 to 1, the card is a liability, not an asset. Calculate the net value annually. If it is negative, close the account. Do not get sentimental. 3. The minimum payment illusion. Banks encourage the minimum payment because it is the most profitable path for them. It keeps you in a cycle of paying interest on interest, effectively renting your own money at an exorbitant cost. The bank wants you to view the minimum payment as a success. It is a failure. Always pay the full statement balance. If you find yourself unable to do so, your spending is the problem, not the card. Stop the bleeding. 4. The utilization game. Your credit utilization ratio is the percentage of your available credit that you are currently using. It is a primary driver of your credit score. If your limit is $10,000 and you use $3,000, your utilization is 30%. Keep this number below 10%. This signals to the financial system that you have access to capital but do not rely on it. Control. That's your objective. 5. The fee waiver negotiation. The terms on your credit card are not as immutable as you have been led to believe. When an annual fee hits your account, the bank is betting you will pay it out of apathy. Call them. Ask for a waiver. Tell them you are considering closing the account because the value is no longer present. They have the authority to waive these fees to retain your business. If they refuse, close the account. Never pay for the privilege of letting a bank hold your money. 6. The auto-pay defense. Human error is the most common cause of unnecessary late fees. You forget a due date and the bank captures a penalty. This is a tax on your disorganization. Set up automatic payments for the full statement balance at least 5 days before the due date. Remove the variable of human forgetfulness from the equation. Automate your discipline. That's how you secure your position. 7. The balance transfer strategy. If you already have high-interest debt, the goal is to shift that debt to a zero-interest environment. Look for balance transfer credit cards that offer a 0% introductory APR. Move your high-interest debt to this new card and pay it off within the introductory period. This is not a way to spend more. It is a way to stop paying interest to the bank. It is a surgical strike on your debt. Execute it and return to neutrality. Remember the anxiety you felt when looking at those initial statements? The mounting pressure of debt, the confusion over why your balance remained high, and the feeling that you were trapped? That was then. This is now. You have the mechanics, the strategy, and the mindset to dominate your credit card usage. You have shifted from being a victim of the system to being an architect of your own financial infrastructure. The bank is no longer your master. It is merely a tool. Most people will hear this and do nothing. They will continue to pay interest, ignore the fine print, and allow their wealth to be drained by the very institutions they trust. A few will take these strategies and systematically strip away the inefficiencies in their financial life. Decide which one you are. If this shifted the way you see things, don't stop here. What you heard is only the surface. Subscribe. No fluff, no noise, just strategy. Most people will watch this and move on. A few will stay and change. Decide which one you are.